The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Guerrilla Politics. I'm radio talk show host Dale Jackson. You can hear my radio show every Monday through Friday in North Alabama on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM WVNN, and 7 to 11 a.m. every single day. You can also go to YellowhammerNews.com and sign up for my email blast every single morning, Monday through Friday. You will get the 7 things you should be talking about today right in your email inbox. And with me, as always, Dr. Waymon Burke, Calhoun Community College. And we've got a great show for you today. Tom Ryan, the Madison County Democratic Chairman, will be with us to talk about where we go next for Alabama Democrats and a whole lot more. Also, Dr. Burke has a history lesson on civil asset forfeiture. And I have a party shot directed at all the people complaining about the term failing schools. But we'll get into all of that a little bit later. Right now, let's get into the 2-minute warning. All right, Dr. Burke, we got a lot to talk about today, shutdown related. The real question is simple here. Last week we were discussing the possibility of a government shutdown, and it happened. This week we are discussing it ending. On Monday, Democrats blinked. There's no other way to put this, in my opinion, but let's ask the good doctor here. Dr. Burke, who blinked on this? Did Schumer blink?
Well, I think the more important thing, Dale, is there was no presidential leadership whatsoever.
We'll get to
Trump
that.
was on the sidelines.
Answer the actual question, and then
but
we can
the
move on.
fact is, I do think that Schumer played the pragmatic card on this, which was a good thing to do. One of the problems is that both parties are being held hostage by the far left and the far right.
All right, I've asked the question twice. Here's a third attempt. Did Schumer blink?
I don't think he blinked.
Okay.
He got a commitment, and we'll see how honorable that commitment is.
By the way, his commitment, even fellow Democrats are saying his commitment was weak.
That's the far left. That's the extremists in the Democratic Party.
What did he get? A vote on
well,
what?
he got a commitment, and he kept the government from being shut down. But
no, that's not true. The government shut down because of them,
right.
And they went with the exact same deal.
On February 8th, we're likely to see it shut down
again. We'll talk about that in a second. But again, he got nothing out of this on paper. This is the equivalent of being promised by a car dealer, hey, I'll throw in some tires.
Are you saying that Mitch McConnell is a used car dealer?
I'm not saying that.
Is that what? Yes, it is.
I'm saying if you get something.
He got a commitment from McConnell that he would bring up a vote on this.
You don't go brag about something you got, what you're doing here, and say we got this, that, or the other when there is absolutely nothing to show for it. You can say the far left's upset about this, but also, guess what? Everyone on the right's like, all right.
No, they're not. As a matter of fact, the far right, Breitbart, is calling the president, what is it, Amnesty Don?
We'll get into that because that's later in the program. This is about the actual shutdown, and the fact that you're trying to change the subject shows
the subject doesn't. A shutdown benefits absolutely no one.
No, that's not the question. Schumer blinked, right?
I think that the president sat on the sidelines.
All you got to do is look at the camera and say Schumer blinked. We all know he did. All right, let's move on to the next one. Doug Jones. Why did he buck his party? Doug Jones went over there to the United States Senate, and he went with the Republicans. Now, I'm not ashamed by this or shocked by this in any way, shape, or form. I think this is exactly what he has to do. If he wants to remain a viable in any way, shape, or form candidate in 2020, he basically has to be a Democrat in name only. I think we all know that. Is that why he bucked the party? Is that why he voted with Mitch McConnell?
No, I don't think so. I think this is the pragmatic side of the Doug Jones that I know. And he said during the campaign he would look at every issue. And something that's very important to Doug Jones, of course, is the CHIPS program for children. He committed he would do whatever he could to make sure that program was extended, and it was successful.
You cracked me up. Hold on. The question was, did he buck his party?
No, I don't think he bucked the party. There were several other Democrats who voted with him,
and
there were several Republicans who voted against it.
There were like 3, and they were Mike Lee and Rand Paul, and I can't remember the other one. There were 4, actually.
That's Republicans.
But
that's
again,
plural.
Again, they don't need them. They needed these guys. They needed Democrats to pass it, and Democrats went with the same thing. Doug Jones he gets a pass on this kind of stuff, right? He gets the pass on this where he goes out and he kind of bucks the party a little bit. Chuck Schumer's like, I understand you're running. Joe Manchin, I understand you're running as well. Claire McCaskill, I understand you're running.
You can call it for whatever you want. I'm just saying the man that I know, and Doug Jones, he is a pragmatic man. He knows he's there to work out a solution, and he was a part of a solution.
I can appreciate the advanced Doug Jones work you're doing for 2020, but the question is really, did he go to Schumer and say, hey, I got to do this?
He didn't call me and said, I'm going to Schumer or to McConnell or whatever. No, I just know Doug Jones to be a pragmatic individual who knows how to try to look out in the best interest of his constituents.
Real quick. Now he's meeting with the President of the United States.
That is fine.
Okay, all right.
They need to talk. Everybody needs to talk. That's the problem.
Okay, all right. Dr. Burke, thank you very much. Let's move to the Alabama legislature. See if Dr. Burke can answer questions here. The Alabama legislature is considering a piece of legislation that has passed the House. And this piece of legislation, I would like to call this the Doug Jones Butthurt Act, because that's basically what it is. Doug Jones won in a special election that he never even should have been a player in. Why did he win? Well, because Roy Moore was a terrible candidate, because Luther Strange was appointed by a governor who then got removed. Everyone clamored and said, we need a special election sooner. Kay Ivey moved it up, and then the Republicans lost the seat to the Democrats. Now the Republicans, they want to go out and do away with these special elections altogether. Dr. Burke, I had Republicans on my show demanding this special election be moved after Bentley was thrown out of office. And now they have the unmitigated gall to go down into the legislature and say, let's do away with these special elections. We'll just go with the appointment. Is this crazy?
Well, first of all, I think I would have described it a little bit differently, Dale. I think you put unrefined and refined political dialogue. But
there's a line through it. This is unrefined political dialogue. But go ahead.
But of course, nobody ever saw this outcome.
No.
Nobody saw it. I mean, I think it was conventional wisdom that either way that Senator Strange would keep the seat. And of course, it didn't happen. He got defeated in the Republican primary, and then that threw the whole situation.
I don't know about everyone
chaos.
saw it. Once there was a special,
many people did. Many people did.
A question.
But it didn't turn out quite as well as some of these folks thought. But the fact is, it might be pragmatic to give someone a 2-year term.
Why do they want to change? They're claiming it's about budgets. But it's not about budgets.
I actually questioned it at the time myself.
I know you did.
I questioned the expenditure.
Because you didn't think the Democrat had a chance.
$1 million
Why do they want to change? Is
whatever.
it budgets
But I think
cost, or is it because they're upset?
That's probably part of it. But it's both. There are people, they're budget hawks, yes, but it's probably people who feel that this wouldn't have happened had they just remained with Senator Strange until 2018.
3 questions, 0 answers. Let's move on to the next one. Hey, I'll ask a bunch of questions this time. Maybe we'll get an answer. Let's talk about what's going on in the legislature. We already talked about a small piece, but let's do a little rapid fire here and discuss some other things that are going on. The Alabama legislature wants to get out of the marriage business. Now, I've told you this before. I don't think this is necessary. I don't think we need to change the way we've been doing marriage in this country just because some people that certain people don't like can now get married, or they don't like that they can get married. I don't want to say they don't like them, love the sinner, hate the sin, that kind of stuff. But do we need to get out of the marriage business like this? Do we need to become, here's my marriage affidavit. You don't have a license anymore. Do we need to do that?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, Dale. I mean, this is just taking the coward's way out on the issue of gay marriage. And look what they're doing to people 200 or 300 years down the road trying to research marriage records for
There's still going to be a record of it. Dr. Burke, there's still going to be a record of it.
I don't know if there necessarily will be a record or not, but this is a coward's way out.
There's going to be a filed affidavit. What are you talking about?
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I agree with you to a degree, but that is not an argument that's there. You tried to answer the question. I'll give you that. Pay raises. Let's talk about that in the Alabama legislature here. Everybody wants a pay raise. Everybody wants to give it. It's an election year. I was down in Montgomery at a Yellowhammer News event. I was speaking with Del Marsh and Mac McCutcheon, and the general consensus was it's not that we're going to debate whether there should be a pay raise. How big should this pay raise be? Is that the battle?
Well, it could be, and that's what I'm hearing from some legislators myself. But yes, I think particular hard-working state employees, people who work for various state agencies, our state troopers, even locally police officers and so forth, they have been shortchanged for so long, particularly in those state agencies where there's been no growth revenue, and these people in many cases haven't gotten a raise in a decade. And school teachers who are funded differently, it affects me very minimally. But for my colleagues who are mid-career and so forth, yes, they deserve a pay raise.
Real quick here as we run out of time, you hear the siren. Amazon, this bill about giving special dispensation to this employer or this retailer in that one. I asked this question and no one knew the answer. If this bill stays where it is and there is no change to allow Amazon to enter into a special agreement where they don't apply anymore because they have brick and mortars, will the cost go up at Amazon or down?
Well, obviously that's some type of trick question. I'm not sure which it goes.
I'm not trying to trick you. The Del Marsh and Mac McCutcheon gave the exact same answer. Nobody knows.
Well,
they're discussing these legislation
I agree,
that nobody knows the answer to.
I agree with the majority leader and the speaker.
Yeah, they don't know. He answered that one honestly. All right, I'm all for it. All right, lastly, you wanted to bring this up earlier, but let's talk about it now. Donald Trump and the Dreamers. Now, Donald Trump has had a very interesting relationship with this particular issue. He started running, and it was the number one issue. In 2016, Joe Scarborough referred to Donald Trump as Amnesty Don during the campaign because he softened his position. Then he went back to the hardline stuff. Then we saw a couple weeks ago Donald Trump soften his position again. Yes, I'd sign a clean Dreamer bill. I'll sign whatever they give me. And then Dick Durbin came out and said Donald Trump said some mean words that hurt his feelings, and Donald Trump hardened his position again. And now we are, once again this week, watching Donald Trump talk about how he will be for some form of citizenship. It'll morph together. Dr. Burke, I'm going to ask you a question here. Where does he stand?
Once again, no one knows because he switches his position in mid-sentence often. The fact is
this a negotiating ploy?
I have to assume that
I mean, it's got to be some version.
If he's going to be a part of the negotiations on this. But one of the things I don't like is the word amnesty. Because when you're talking about the Dreamers, because when you say amnesty, that means you're being forgiven for a crime. And these people who came here as children under U.S. law can't be convicted of a crime.
What a nonsensical argument. It's still the same thing.
Well, they need to get another term. Amnesty is not the term. But the fact is,
should they be given citizenship?
I think there should be a path to citizenship.
Should they be allowed to vote?
Yes, at some point, give them a path to citizenship. Even Trump has said, at least this time, if he doesn't change his mind, he says 10 to 12 years. I would say it should be shorter. But the fact is that I know a lot of these people. I work with them as a teacher. They're fine young people.
Last question here, real quick. What does a bill look like that could pass through the House and the Senate and get signed by the president? Just give me a quick rundown of what it looks like.
Going through the House, I don't know if anything could because I'm not optimistic about it in the House.
I agree, which is why
I am in the Senate.
I point that out because everyone says, oh, this has the votes. Why don't you just put it on the floor? Okay, well, then what's it look like?
I'm not sure it does have the
votes.
Exactly.
I don't think so. I think that is a red herring that's thrown around.
It's not good for the Republicans because if they vote for it or against it, they're in bad shape.
Hey, what? Wow. So, Dr. Burke, you've declared that if they vote for it or against it, they're screwed. All right.
Some of them, yes.
Thanks, Dr. Burke. Thanks for the insight. That's why we bring you here. We'll be back
on
Guerrilla Politics. Thank you very much. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
That's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. You know, since I've been working with Matt Curtis, the number of hours it takes for him to sell a house continues to shrink. We're down to 14 hours. Every 14 hours, Matt Curtis sells a house. If you're looking to sell your house, he's the best in town, one of the best in the entire nation. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com. And when you do, tell him Dale Jackson sent you.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. And it's not just University Kia, it's Kias all over the world. I've been driving a Kia for almost 20 years. I love these vehicles because of a couple reasons. One, they're dependable. Two, great cost. And three, an amazing warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty at University Kia. Go see Calvin. Go see Arthur. Go see David Brady and all the fellows over there at University Kia. Check them out online at universitykia.com. And when you do, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at Rocket City Property Management. Look, I've got a property and I've got a renter, but I don't have time to be dealing with all the hassles of being a landlord. That's where Rocket City Property Management comes in. They collect my rent, they deal with the maintenance issues, they help me find people to live in my property. They'll do it for you too. Check them out online at rocketcitypropertymanagement.com, and when you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you. Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Dr. Waymon Burke, and we're joined by our guest this week, Madison County Democrat Chairman Tom Ryan. Tom, let's get right into it. We got a lot to discuss here. Doug Jones sort of bucked the party. Dr. Burke won't say so, but he voted with a majority of the Republicans to keep the government open the first go-around, and then, of course, a whole bunch of people came around and voted for it, too. Did he buck the party, and why?
I think so, and it's you can't, but you're not going to be able to run as a Republican light and run as a Democrat and win. People just aren't going to do that. He really, in my opinion, probably just should go ahead and buck the party, or not buck the party, go along with keeping it open a little bit longer. But they did get something. They got the CHIP program funded for 6 more years.
But that was already there in the first go-around on Friday when they said, oh, no, we'll shut the government down. Nothing changed. So he didn't really get anything.
They got the CHIP program funded. They weren't offering that. They weren't offering that.
That was already there.
Yeah.
Tom, that was already there. And they were already they debated on Friday and on Monday when they voted for it. So,
well, I'm going to switch gears here a minute because I'm very interested in civil forfeiture. And that is a problem. Why is that not a violation of the 14th Amendment that says that due process is for life, liberty, and property? Everyone has a right to due process.
Yeah, I think it is a violation of due process. I think it violates the Fifth Amendment as well. It's taking property without due process, and they're not giving you any compensation for it. Just because, in the opinion of one police officer, that in that person's mind, the money you have in your pocket or the things that you have in your car are the result of some kind of drug transaction. It's just beyond craziness. The police officers down in Castleberry, is that the name of the place?
I think it is.
You know, that reminds me of the Attorney General's sting operation that they had to do in a little town in South Alabama called Pineapple about 40 years ago. And when they ran through there and the speed limit went from 50 to 20 at about 10 feet, and they had the people standing behind the thing, and it's $100 or 100 days right now. and they're doing the same thing now, only with drugs.
So why hasn't this been knocked down? Why you talk about how it's unconstitutional. We hear this a lot, but state by state, including Alabama, they're working on doing away with the civil asset forfeiture. Still for criminal, they want to keep doing it. But why hasn't it been knocked down if it's unconstitutional?
It's based on a weird theory. It's based on admiralty law about ships and the maritime law and that kind of thing. And it's just a weird theory. But that's been upheld by the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But it should be done away with because it turns the presumption of innocence on its head. The police are policing for profit, not to uphold the law. It's just not fair.
Real quick question as we run out of time here. Sorry, Dr. Burke. Do you see law enforcement saying we can't do away with this, we need the revenue?
I think there's going to be a big pushback for that because they've hardwired that into their budgets for years.
Yeah.
For years. It's not right.
Real quick.
Okay, and people who've been convicted of crimes, that may be another issue.
That's a criminal forfeiture
Criminal
versus
forfeiture.
a civil
Criminal
forfeiture.
forfeiture.
Right. And the bill right now, I want to point out, is proposed by 2 Republicans.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And this
a
is
movement across the
something
country.
largely that libertarians and liberals actually agree with.
Yes.
on
And
this.
Republicans have come around on this big time. You're seeing a movement across the country on this particular matter. So, Tom Ryan, Madison County Democratic Chairman, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you. When we come back, Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you. I've got a party shot. You're watching Guerrilla Politics, or you're listening to Guerrilla Politics, depending on how you're consuming it. Stay tuned. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. Since I've been working with Matt Curtis, the number of hours it takes for him to sell a house continues to shrink. We're down to 14 hours. Every 14 hours, Matt Curtis sells a house. If you're looking to sell your house, he's the best in town, one of the best in the entire nation. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com. And when you do, tell him Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. And it's not just University Kia, it's Kias all over the world. I've been driving a Kia for almost 20 years. I love these vehicles because of a couple reasons. 1, they're dependable. 2, great cost. And 3, an amazing warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty at University Kia. Go see Calvin. Go see Arthur. Go see David Brady and all the fellows over there at University Kia. Check them out online at universitykia.com. And when you do, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
That's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Waymon Burke here for Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate Company. Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate is Huntsville's premier commercial real estate agency. Russ can help you with anything you need, whether it's raw property, office space, a commercial development. That's Russ Russell. He's a native Huntsvillian. He knows us. He knows our people. He knows real estate. A member of the Better Business Bureau, 536-7777.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Dr. Waymon Burke. As we wrap up the show today, Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you on civil asset forfeiture. Hard to say. He'll explain it. And I've got a parting shot for you about failing schools and all the excuses everyone has and why there should be absolutely none. Dr. Burke, take it away.
Thank you, Dale. And this is really a continuation of our discussion with Tom Ryan on this topic. This is really a testimonial from a man who was really victimized by this procedure. So let's roll it.
I'm Russ Caswell. I own the Caswell Motel in Tewksbury, Mass. The government tried to take it based on just a handful of drug activity cases that they had that I didn't even know existed. And they took it to court, and we won it in court. The judge saw right through their case that they had nothing to get us on, because we did nothing. It was just customers at the motel behind doors in locked rooms. We had done some kind of drug deal or something along them lines, and the police would find them, however they'd find them, and I guess arrest them and take them to court, never tell us a thing about it. I was never called to court to testify about any of it, but the thing that they were doing is a DEA agent testified that the DEA won't go after a property unless the owner has at least $50,000 worth of equity. Now the motel is paid for, and it's there's no mortgage, and it's worth about $2 million. And that's what they were after. This had nothing to do with drugs. It was just an excuse to steal property from us. And that's the way the government wins these things.
We want to thank the Daily Signal for that clip. I don't understand, Dale, how this does not violate the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, where it says no state, that's state of Alabama, state of Montana, whatever state, can deny any person life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Well, there's been a couple of court cases about it, and it has been upheld. State by state, you're seeing it start to get knocked down a little bit. Senator Orr and others have bills up in this session, and it's in the House as well. So they're working on it here in the state of Alabama. The thing that I find interesting about it is that guy, he was running a business. I guess their argument is he knows what's going on within his hotels. That's got to be their only argument, but apparently it didn't work too well. Let's go ahead and get to my parting shot. My parting shot this week is directed at educators, and maybe administrators inside education is probably a better target here, because let me tell you something about all this complaining about failing schools. They don't like the term failing school. They say it stigmatizes the schools. It's not fair. Here are the real problems, though. They don't like the fact that under the Alabama Accountability Act, if you're in a failing school, you can take your kid out and go somewhere else. You have that option. Not all kids are going to be able to do that, but some are. And they don't like that term failing schools. But let me explain something to people, and people do not know this. The term failing school in the state of Alabama means the schools at the bottom 6%. 6% in achievement. This isn't the top 50 schools or bottom 50 schools or bottom 20. We are talking about the bottom 6% of the schools. There is not a single performance metric in the country where you'd be considered passing when you were at the bottom 6% in your field. Why educators and administrators think that it should be different for them, I have absolutely no idea, but they do. These failing schools that are labeled failing schools are obviously failing schools. And until administrators and educators can accept some accountability, people are still going to have a problem with the way that industry is run. Dr. Burke, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much to all of you for watching. YellowhammerNews.com. Go to that website today and sign up for my email blast. And every single morning, you'll get the 7 things you should be talking about today right in your email inbox every single day. Thank you very much for being here. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching Guerrilla Politics.